Now, to improve your writing skills, you need to be writing in English every single day. Not once a week, not every second week, not once a month, but writing consistently every single day. Guys, the more you make writing a habit, the easier it will get, the faster you'll be able to remember words, phrases, and expressions, and maybe also most likely, identify what problems you're having. Now, I know you're watching this video lesson because you want to improve your writing skills, but you don't know how. Honestly, I can't tell you how to improve your writing skills if you are not consistently writing. The best way to see what problems you have writing in English is that grammar, is that expression? Do you not use words effectively? Do you need to improve your vocabulary? Do you simply not know how to start, how to structure your writing? Guys, if you're not writing every single day, you do not know what problems you have. Now, I do understand you may be thinking, okay, Adriana, it's just so hard to start. I don't know how to write. I'm lost. Help me. If you want to start doing something every single day to improve your writing, the best tip I'm giving it away to you now is that I suggest that you start writing every single day in a journal. Guys, journaling is powerful. It's effective. Every single day, make it a habit to sit down, to write for 15 minutes a day. You don't need to be writing essays for an hour, 2 hours a day. Sit down in a quiet spot and write for 15 minutes a day. This will help you see, okay, what problems do you have? Do you not know words? Do you not know expressions? Do you not write in those 15 minutes? It's not uncommon for people to sit down and simply not be able to write because they have a writer's block. This is your problem. And by you actually trying every day to sit there, put pen to paper, you are doing something to identify, okay, what problems you have and what you need to work on. But if you don't sit there to write in a journal, you are not going to improve. Now, one common problem I've seen many of my students have, and I also encounter this problem when I do my daily journaling, and this is a problem of not knowing what to write. So I know I did tell you before to write in a journal, you write about anything, but what? A lot of the times you know, okay, you should be writing, but what exactly can you write about? So recently we started our 30-day writing workshops. You will find the details to all of that, how you can sign up in the link below this video. So a lot of our students in the writing workshop, they wanted to write, but when they went to journal, they didn't know what to write about. Some of the suggestions that I provided and our teaching team offers is that you need to focus on writing about topics that are interesting to you. You could write about what you're going to do tomorrow, in a year's time, or what you did maybe a month ago or in your childhood. Simply try to put pen to paper down. But one thing we've also noticed is that some people don't like reflecting. So I'm the type of person, I like to talk about my day, what I've done, reflect on my feelings, but maybe your brain isn't wired like that. You like to talk about details. You want to get into technicalities, how things work. Describe processes in your journal. Even though we've called it a diary or a journal, you don't necessarily need to be reflecting on your day. You could write about maybe a process at your job, something new that you've learned, maybe how to make a box, how to program an application. Basically, write down anything in that diary. But if you're still struggling, you spend that 15 minutes thinking of a topic, you're just wasting your time. And what I suggest that you do, if you do find yourself in that situation, is to read. Read the news in English, find a local newspaper or a newspaper online, and summarize everything that you read in that newspaper in your journal. By reading the news in English and writing a little summary, a little review, this will help you first of all understand new phrases and expressions you can use when writing in English, and also see complex grammatical structures you could also incorporate in your writing, and also give you an idea to write about and to be inspired to write in English. As I mentioned before, this journaling should be something you do every single day, but you don't want to be spending hours a day journaling and writing. 15 minutes is really all that you need, and if you are spending longer, think about why. Only dedicate 15 minutes a day and try to understand, okay, why is it taking you so long? Is it because you can't think of ideas? Is it word choice? Are you looking up and using a dictionary too much? Understand why and keep writing, okay? Consistency is key. try to make it a daily habit. Now, to help you be consistent and to not give up with this journaling, you really need to understand when is the best time for you to write. Is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon? Is it in the evening? When do you want to and when do you like to write? So when I look at myself, I'm a morning person. Every morning I wake up around 5 to 6 a.m. and I'm most productive in the mornings. Now, also in the mornings, no one bothers me. So I love the fact that I can wake up and I have my me time. I write, yes, I do write every single day in my journal in the morning. It's a great time for me to reflect on my day, reflect on my thoughts. I write about anything. Sometimes I could write about my goals, about what's happening around the world, how I'm feeling. I even summarize some news articles, what I've read. Basically, I'm trying to make it a habit to write every day. And I do it in the morning because then I don't have any distractions. I do this in my lounge room where I feel comfortable because, I want to have fun writing so that I can do this consistently and also develop my language skills. Many native English speakers also consistently write to improve their vocabulary, their grammar. It is useful for natives and non-native English speakers. Guys, but it is important for you to really analyze yourself. When do you want to write? When do you enjoy writing? And when don't you have any distractions, okay? Think about those times of the days and try to make it a habit. So try and do this every day. But in the situation that you miss a day, okay guys, even though I do try to do it every day, I'm not perfect. I can't lie to you and tell you that I do it every single day because some days I simply can't be bothered or I forget, okay? It happens. But I don't beat myself up about it. I'm like, oh, Adriana, why? I had to do that. I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'll do it. I'm not going to forget tomorrow, and I write it on my daily to-do list, or I just put a reminder in my calendar. If you do forget to do it one day, don't be hard on yourself. You are human. It does happen, but try to make it a point to do it the next day. Now, I'm sure you're probably thinking, Adriana, journaling and writing every day sounds fantastic, but I need feedback. Need feedback from English teachers, from English speakers. Now, before you even think about getting feedback from native English speakers, what you need to be doing is proofreading, okay? This proofreading is very powerful and you are capable of doing this. Not so much pointing, sorry guys. But a lot of you don't proofread. We've seen this in our writing workshop. Guys, if you write something down, you can proofread this mentally, so read through it in your head, but a more powerful way you can proofread is to proofread out loud. Now, what I've noticed when I ask students to read the essays out loud, a lot of them fix the small mistakes, especially with articles, prepositions. They are able to self-correct through proofreading out loud, not in their head. So if you are really worried about, okay, so your grammar mistakes, how the text sounds, is a person able to understand what you're writing, read it out loud and ask yourself questions. Ask yourself questions for expression. Have you expressed yourself well? Have you structured your ideas well? Are you able to understand everything that you wrote down? This is very powerful. I teach this in the 30-day writing workshop, and I also do this myself when I'm writing in English, and also especially when I'm writing emails in Croatian, because Croatian is my second language. I do write a lot of emails in Croatian, and I'm always worried about, when I write an email, is that person going to be able to understand what I want? So why I'm writing that email to them? And what I do is I read this out loud and I make sure I listen. Okay, are the instructions clear? Have I conveyed my message? And will they be able to understand everything I say? Proofreading is very powerful. Do it once, do it twice, do it 3 times. And if you proofread your journal, you'll see that you will be able to identify your mistakes and you'll see what areas you need to work on. Now, it is also good to get feedback from qualified English teachers who know and can identify your mistakes. So when you are writing, they can pick up, okay, is your expression okay? Did you structure that writing piece okay? Maybe what grammar mistakes are you making, comma grammar mistakes, so that you consistently know, okay, what's your mistake now and what you need to work on to improve in a month's time. Okay, so now you understand what you need to be doing every single day to improve your writing skills. But I want you to avoid these mistakes. Making these mistakes I'm going to be talking about. A lot of you are making these mistakes. They're not good. They're not going to help you. And let's just discuss them now. Now, the first mistake is that you're probably using a dictionary too much or you're looking up words on Google. Guys, if you are able to understand 50 to 80% of this video, you do know a wide range of grammar, vocabulary, and expressions. You need to think a little bit, think of them, recall them, so that you can use them. If you're constantly looking at a dictionary or looking them up on Google, you are being a little bit lazy, okay? Sorry to tell you, but this is a lazy option. Instead of taking the easy way out and looking it up, just write down what you know. Look, if you can't even think of any words or you think they're too simple, just write them down. You know then, okay, you have a problem remembering words. You need to train your brain to better remember words and recall them when writing in English. But if you're using a dictionary or Google too much, you won't know that you have that problem. Also, throughout this video, I do suggest 15 minutes a day of writing because no one wants to be writing for 2-3 hours a day. It's just not realistic with your life, with everybody's life. Keep it to 15 minutes, but if you're using a dictionary or Google, you're not going to be able to do this. So train yourself to not rely so much on the dictionary and to use what you know already. Also, it's important when you're writing to not be translating. So when you're thinking of ideas, don't be thinking of those ideas in your native language. Think of them with the words that you know in English and then write them down. Yes, they will be simple in the beginning. Yes, you're going to struggle to think of those ideas, those phrases, those expressions, but write down even really simple words. Maybe they're grammatically incorrect. Do it in English and you'll see that over time it'll get better. Many students make the mistake of translating a word from their language to the English language, but in English we don't use that word in that context. That's why I tell you guys, don't translate. Instead of translating, try to use the words that you know in English. Now, I do understand that you're probably frustrated because you're like, Adriana, I don't know words, I don't know expressions. How do you expect me to do this? So to better prepare yourself to be writing journals every single day for 15 minutes in English, I do suggest that you start reading. Reading is a great way to learn new phrases, expressions, see how grammar is used in context, and then you can analyze while you're reading for vocab, for expressions, for grammar, which you could use when writing in English. The more you read, the more knowledge you'll get, but also make sure to be reading and paying attention to the language being used. But if you're really struggling to write in that journal, then I do have an easy solution for you. While you're reading, instead of thinking of ways to write, what topics to write about, what you could do is simply copy that text in your diary. So, word for word, look at that text and write it down in your diary. This is a great way for you to make writing a habit, but also for you to process a language. Yes, you're copying someone else's writing, so you're not going to be plagiarizing them. This is just for your own personal learning. Write it down, and by you writing, first of all, you're getting into the habit of writing in English. You'll better remember the new phrases and expressions because you're processing the information, you're seeing it, and you're physically writing it down. And hopefully, by doing this in time, if you are consistent, you'll be able to progress and challenge yourself to, instead of copying those texts, to be writing and to be summarizing them. Look guys, writing in any language, I do understand can be daunting, but I promise you, if you use and apply these tips in this video lesson, it will be easier for you in the future. But you do need to be consistent, you do need to be challenging yourself and doing something every single day.
Hello everyone! Today I'm going to share with you a few journaling activities that you can do to lift your spirits and put you in a better mood. First is a gratitude list, and this might be something that you already do, and that's great. I think there's so much power in gratitude, and when you focus on things you appreciate, there's this shift in your perspective that makes everything around you seem a little bit sunnier. As you're writing your list, pause after each thing you write. Close your eyes and really feel a deep appreciation for what you wrote. If you do a gratitude list daily, you're going to start training your brain to look for the good things in life, and this is sure to bring you a little bit more joy. Second, write out a list of ideal ways to spend your day. If you had no obligations like school or work and you were free to do whatever you want, what would you do? This list is also great to look back on when you're having a not so great day and you need a few reminders of the things that will make you really happy. This list can also be a great eye-opener to see if you're living a life that truly fulfills you, or if you're stuck in a cycle of doing things that you don't like with the promise of happiness later. Figure out what you can do now to change your life and make it exactly what you want it to be, because chasing a future of happiness will lead you nowhere. All you ever have is this moment. Third, jot down a list of all your daydreams, all those happy little dreams of places you want to go, or things you want to do, or feelings you want to have. As you're writing these down, imagine them as if they were real, and feel the happiness it brings you. Even though you aren't living it, try to just let that thought bring you joy. Print out photos or doodle pictures that match your dreams, and then anytime throughout your day when you need a little pick-me-up, just close your eyes and let one of those daydreams play out in your head. Fourth, pick a person in your life and write a list of reasons why you love them. The more you write, the more ideas are going to start coming to your mind, and the more and more you'll start feeling this love build up inside you. You can choose to give this letter to that person or just keep it for yourself. After you do this, you can bring all this love with you throughout your day and share it with everyone around you. Fifth, write an entry from the perspective of your future self. Imagine a specific moment that you want to happen in your future, whether it's a month from now or 5 years from now. Write it down as if it is happening right now. Really immerse yourself in this moment and write down all the specific details you can, exactly as you wish it to be. This is basically a visualization exercise, but it's doing it in your journal instead of just in your head. Feel how happy you are in this moment and let that feeling be just as real as if you were actually living it. Finally, create a collection of quotes that inspire you. I'm always writing down quotes I like from the books I'm reading or the podcasts I'm listening to, or even just things that I find on Pinterest. I like to add the best ones to my journal to give me a little inspiration every time I flip through it. So now go grab your journal and do a little bit of writing and watch how quickly you can change your perspective and feel a little bit happier. Make this a daily practice and you will see how drastically your life changes. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here with me.